Hey everybody, Jeff Barples here, real estate broker. Today we're going to talk about buying a house or real estate in a recession. Is it a good idea? What are the things that we really need to focus on to make sure that you're getting the best deal possible? But before we get there, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click that bell so every time we come up with new content that you are very well informed. Now, if you've been living under a rock, I'm sorry, but most people don't. They all know since Jay Powell did his pivot a couple months ago, interest rates have gone up. We have seen inflation go up. We have sort of a volatile market, right? We have equity markets have come down. And today we're going to really talk about what are the things, what are the buying opportunities? How do you position yourself if you are a buyer in today's market? Now, there is a great book that I've read a few times. It's called Timing of the Real Estate Market. It is a book by Robert Campbell. He is a real estate economist that I follow. And, you know, realistically, yeah, if you could time the market, that's great. There's highs and then there's lows. We do not want to buy at the highs. We want to buy at the lows. Clearly, people have their own self-interest in mind, their own, life, and sometimes they have to make a move at the wrong time because things happen and they have to make a move on it. But if you can time the market effectively, then you want to buy in the low. But I'll tell you, there are opportunities where you could buy on the down, not on the bottom, but on the down. I have actually completed a transaction with seller financing, $150,000 less than the comp within the building. So there are opportunities out there, and I want you as buyers to take advantage of it. Now, what are we really talking about? When we're looking at a real estate economy, remember the real estate economy is a lagger off of the equity markets, right? It's going to take a while for those ripple effects to come into the real estate market. And so what we do typically is we're going to watch these trend lines. I'm always looking at the trend lines, and I did that this week. When you're looking at San Francisco real estate or Marin County real estate, you can see it's kind of a bell shape at this point, to where the top of the bell is the top and then we're coming back down. So where are we in that segment? Well, I don't know. Nobody knows for sure where the down is, but I'll tell you the trend line is definitely going down a little bit. And then when you look at mortgage rates, when you look at housing starts and that trends within the overall national market compared to San Francisco, I do believe that we are much more insulated here in the Bay Area versus those tertiary markets where people bought in a couple years ago, or that secondary home market like Tahoe, where values went screaming up. Everybody wanted to get in there, but where are they going to go? I think those markets are going to be a little bit precarious, put it that way. But what are we going to do for those buyers that still want to get into the market? Because I know that there's a lot of people out there, especially a lot of all cash buyers. So what are we going to do? Okay, well, what we really want to do is sort of position yourself to take advantage of these things. As inventory levels rise, we want to make sure that we're looking at the best property possible, right? One of the best things to do is to look at days on the market. Days on the market is a key indicator on if a listing is getting stale. The first 2 weeks when a property comes on the market, you're going to get all the eyeballs, and then after 2 weeks, all those people that were in the market that were looking for something similar to yours most likely saw it, and if they're not moving on it, maybe there's indicators out there that's saying, well, maybe it's overpriced. What do we need to do to sell the property? That's where it's going to come into a price adjustment most likely. Number two is really, I look at the equity in those deals. When my clients, we look at property and go, I really like this piece of property. What are we going to do? Days on market. We're going to look at the equity that the owner has within the property. Because remember, a motivated seller with equity, hey, there's opportunity there for us to be able to push those prices down, right? So when people talk about recessions and they talk about, what are we going to do in the housing market? Well, I'm always turning that around. Instead of being fear-driven, where are the opportunities that are going to lie in that market? Because remember, there's going to be a lot less buyers that are in the market because, yeah, maybe they lost their shirt a couple months back when the equity markets collapsed and they're, nervous, or they want to, take their time. And I've had plenty of clients that tell me that in the last couple of months. We're like, we're just going to hold off, take a look. That's fine. I understand that completely. But where are the opportunities? Because we have been in this market in San Francisco Bay Area where real estate values have just kept on going up and up. And then they were about to sort of level off and right before COVID, and then everything accelerated again. Okay, well, great. They're coming back to earth a little bit and cost of money is increasing. So at the end of the day, there's going to be buyer opportunities, and I don't want buyers to be nervous about upsetting a seller because they're putting forward a contract that is lower than the seller's expectations. It's always surprising, to be frank with you, that buyers in a heated marketplace that we had last year are more willing to get into a bidding frenzy and a bidding war for a certain piece of property than find a property that's been on the market for a little bit that's totally acceptable, fits all the boxes, but they don't want to put in an offer because I don't want to upset anybody. You're an investor in real estate. You want to buy these properties as low as you possibly can. If you upset the seller, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is you guys getting a good deal in today's marketplace, right? And that is really the driver. We want to buy property as low as we can get it. When we had the 2008 recession, it did upset a lot of markets, across the board. Equity markets, everything was in turmoil. But the reality was, the values didn't really drop too much. Now, if you get onto, say, YouTube, and you look at some of these people that I do, some of these people are screaming at the top of their lungs that everything's just going to collapse, just ridiculous. Now, realistically, that's going to be decimate everybody. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Fed wants to do it happen because the reality is the real estate market, as far as overall GDP, the real estate market is like a safe haven to some degree for the economy. Everybody goes back to it. It is the levers that they always talk about and say, okay, how do we make sure that, there's some stability in overall markets within the United States? Well, real estate is really a cornerstone to that, right? So let's just come to the conclusion of this. Really what I want you to do is take your time, right? You have time to look at inventory. The difference is San Francisco real estate is different than anywhere else in the world. We have TICs, condos, co-ops, single-family homes. We have a multitude of neighborhoods, over 80 different neighborhoods right here in the city. All real estate is different, unless you're looking really in South Beach. So it really just comes down to, it's like when you find that piece of property that checks all the boxes, right? And you like it, but you're sort of want to pause a little bit, watch what happens to that property. I have been in plenty of situations where buyers look at the property, they like it, they really like it, and we just give it another week, maybe give it another 2 weeks and see what happens. Once again, when the days on market get to around 21 days, 28 days, there are opportunities to go in there and push prices lower. And if the seller accepts it, great. If the seller rejects it, whatever. No big deal. Move forward. Anyway, I hope these little tips and tricks are going to help you position yourself for this market. Anyway, if you have any questions, concerned, want to just chat, give me a call. Follow me, please, on my YouTube channel, my Facebook, my LinkedIn profile, everything. And please, I pick up my phone. So if you are looking just to have a quick chat, please, just give me a call and I'm happy to speak with you and just sort of give you advice and my thoughts off the top of my head. All right. Thanks so much for watching. You have a very, very good day.